Welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits. Coming to you from the, well, no, not the Recycle Garage. Coming to you from the One Show in Portland, Oregon. Hey everyone, this is Liza, and I am here with stunt misfit Wendy Crockett.
What's happening, everybody?
Hey, Wendy. Well, we've got an amazing weekend ahead of us here.
I can't wait. It looks really cool. I'm excited to experience everything.
And somehow I wrangled you into coming here.
You've been poking me a few times to come up. I've had to bow out of a couple of things, so I didn't want to miss out on this one.
Yeah, so we've come up to Oregon. This is still at the Zidell Shipyards, which has been here a few years. We don't know how long it's going to last, but it's an amazing place. I can't wait to show you around, show you all the things that are here. Why don't we start with a little tour as let's start with as you enter in. Let's see what it looks like to see what you think.
First impressions, let's do it.
Okay. So I'm here with Wendy, and we're coming to the One Show. This is her first time. So we're going to record as she gets to experience it and describe what she's seen.
Yeah.
Hello.
Morning.
Media, okay. Thank you. They're good.
So we're coming in to the entrance, and on our left this is the food court where they bring in all these awesome Portland foods. You got Louisiana, my favorite, chicken and guns. And then you want to describe what you're looking at, Wendy?
So we've got a nice stack of sea trains in here.
Is that what you call
That's what I've always called
cargo
them.
containers?
Sea trains. Yeah, cargo containers stacked up here with kind of a cool, rough, post-apocalyptic kind of vibe we got going on.
So
I like it.
They were still painting this yesterday.
Yeah, right.
This is painted specifically for the One Show.
Yeah, so
a cool mural.
We've got a dog on a chopper. We've already seen 3 dogs today, so that's good. I am above average. I'm going to say hi to my buddy as he's walking by.
Hi, how are
Hey,
you?
good. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're here with Motorcycles and Misfits doing recording for the event, and yeah, seeing all the cool people already. Have fun.
So, Wendy, as we're looking up as we enter this building, describe what we're about to enter.
So this looks like the kind of place where if it wasn't surrounded by motorcycles and motorcycle people, and even in a lot of circumstances, if it was surrounded by motorcycles and motorcycle people, every tingly thing in your body would be saying, turn around and run away.
Tetanus.
Yeah, it is a rough...
So we're entering a large door you can fit a semi-truck through.
Yeah.
With mangled sheet metal.
Yeah, looks
hanging out, and yes. As we enter the building,
didn't quite make it in unscathed.
So we've got, they're still setting up some of the displays. We're here Friday morning right before they open. Now, Wendy, we're going to turn and look. What do you think?
Yeah, so this reminds me of, so we are inside of this giant facility. I wouldn't even call it a warehouse. This had to have been, large-scale manufacturing of some sort at some point.
Easily like the size of a football stadium.
Yeah, it's just huge, but it's like the same vibe I've gotten. There's like a indoor farmers market in Milwaukee I've been to. There's, a lot of these places that are being rehabbed that had been, fallen into disrepair across the country in a very cool industrial, like rugged way, and not making an effort to spit polish it at all, but really embracing that industrial history that built the area.
So the other thing, we've just stepped in the doors. You're looking around, we can start to see bikes. Mm-hmm. What kind of bikes can you see that are represented here?
Well, we've got a cool little three-wheeler there, like a cool custom trike. We've got something with a furry seat that looks like you took a long chopper and smashed it together front to back. We've got a lot of cool like cafe racer type stuff in the back there. We've got some sort of dual sporty stuff over there.
KTM.
Yeah. Looking dirty, looking like they're having some fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I love about this event as we start to walk. Much like vintage days, everything is cool. A mini bike is cool. Harley is cool. KTM is cool. An old Honda is cool. Everything is cool. And it's just celebrating the love of motorcycles.
Yeah.
And right as we come here, look at this
BSA.
nice selection.
Yeah.
We got vintage. Look at this BMW R100.
Holy cow.
This with that distinct, that faded paint. But I love this. This is a black and red. Oh,
I have a hard time envisioning that being any more beautiful leaving the factory than it is sitting here today. That's one of those colors that transports you back to a certain point in motorcycle history.
and here we have a 66 Ducati. Over here, a CB 750, a KZ 650, and is that a Ducati over there, Monster? And I mean, it's just everything. And now we're going into another really nice CB 750.
Yeah.
And here's a brand new MV Agusta. And then immediately after that, these look like things from like the 1910s.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything. And over here, look at, we've got a three-wheeler like ATV trike.
ATC.
And yeah, three-wheeler chopper. And it just goes on. So let's explore, see what else we find. Now we're coming to
Nice.
art.
Yes.
The thing I love, it's motorcycles, art, food, and music. They all have a big presence here. And have you noticed the whole outside of the whole thing is all lined with art?
Yeah. All these different helmet designs. I mean, from, beautifully executed, what you would think of as a standard, vintage helmet painting to completely oddball, metal work. Look at this one. So here we've got a helmet that is obviously not designed to be worn, but it is in the style of a spiral bound notebook. That it is painted with the blue lines, and there's wires looped all around the front opening of this 3/4 helmet. So that is
Getting the mind.
that is amazing.
And here we have the kids area.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you mean
Hot
kids
Wheels.
area? I like riding the
Hot Wheels and
road burner
yeah,
video game.
video games and our radio controlled cars and here we're in the Z50 mini bike area. Well, let's keep walking and check out more stuff, and I'll show you the lay of the land. All right, Wendy, we've done our first lap. Walk through the food area, the vendor area, the test ride area, the cars. What's your first impression?
My first impression is this is like if you took all the very coolest things about vintage motorcycle days, compressed them into a really bitchin' venue with like just a tinge of a kind of hipster feel to it. It's really fun, really surreal. Well, it's not. I mean, there's so much stuff. People have this concept of what hipster look like, and I don't want them to get the impression that it's that finely delineated, right? We've got a bit of that hipster feel, but I don't think I saw something that looked like if a Trail 90 chopper and a mini sprint had a baby, that's what that would look like. That's not hipster. I mean, that's just crazy cool, man. That's just thinking of, these incredible ideas and bringing it to life.
I know what it is. It's thinking outside the box of what's already been done, which I will admit, like there's a whole custom Harley chopper section. And it kind of looks like the same thing that we've been seeing done. You're going to see the same things over and over. But what you see here with bikes you don't expect to be customized, and you see them doing things you haven't seen done before.
Right. And we'll definitely see, we're seeing a lot of the more what you expect from custom builds. We're seeing some really incredible, like unrestored vintage bikes or reimagined vintage bikes, like early 1900s stuff in really unique ways. We've seen a couple of bikes where we're like, I can't tell quite what's different. I mean, like custom paint, a little bit of differences. And then there's some things you look at and you're like, whoa, I don't know what they were smoking when they dreamed this up, but man, is that cool. What a wild thing. And kind of everything in between.
Yeah, there's still a lot. We're going to do many laps because every time I discover something new I didn't catch.
Mm-hmm.
But already we've been running into friends. Jason from Six Bike Garage is here. And I'm sure we're going to be running into a lot of people.
Yeah, my friends from Royal Enfield were here. A lot of the women, we've ran into several women from WEMA that we met in Maine last year. This, the motorcycle community really is so small. And when you start traveling and going to events, it's such a great community, and that whole vibe here is so fantastic. Just really welcoming. All kinds are welcome. All types of bikes, all types of people, all kinds of riders. So really, really fun. But check out this bike just behind you. That on first blush, it looks like a real vintage, like 1940s Harley maybe. And then you start looking a little closer at it. You're like, wait a minute, that is kind of a post-apocalyptic rebuild of, cobbled together what I found in a junkyard. The more you look at it, the more interesting things that you find on that.
Well, I think the common thread here is the creativity.
Yeah, 100%.
Creativity in the food, creativity in the art, the music, and all the bikes. Well, we've got a lot to check out. Let's go see if we can find some cool interviews to do.
Let's do it.
All right, so Wendy and I were walking along checking out bikes, and there's a couple of bikes that caught my eye. In fact, I spotted them last night while I was being set up because they've got some Bonneville history attached to them. So I am here with the riders and the builders. We've got Gina and Mordo.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us, all right, we're going to start. Gina, this is your bike here.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the bike. What is this?
So it's a 1962-ish Triumph Tiger Cub. It's not completely all Tiger Cub. It has like a Triumph Terrier frame. It's a mix match of parts.
And this is what year?
The frame is a 52-ish. The bike itself is a 62.
Nice. I actually had a Tiger Cub that I was working on. Is this Whitworth? Is it Whitworth tools?
Oh, lots of Whitworth.
Yeah.
Lots of British Standard on there. Yep.
Exactly. So when you got it, was it a stock bike?
Well, you'd got
It was out of our parts pile. So this is just like, it's quilted out of just garage junk.
Yeah.
So this was Gina and I put this together. We started the 1st of December on this one and just went out to the scrap pile and like, what can we build?
Is that tank from a Whizzer? What is that?
That's a gas tank from a Whizzer, correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yep, good
Nice.
eyes.
Yeah. And
we tend to do that. We'll have like several different seats or tanks or, whatever. And it's like, hold it up and look at it. And it's like, how
Let
about
it
this?
evolve.
Yeah.
And you got a nice little high pipe on there and some knobby tires. One of the most aesthetic things I really enjoy is this short little front fender with the Indian.
Oh, yes.
Where did that Indian come from?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I cast it at a foundry and off of a pattern and made a whole bunch of them. So I'm really not entirely sure. It might be Pontiac.
Oh,
wow. Not certain. I'm sure someone would spot it. Gina's gone nuts. She's like, it was formerly a tattoo artist. So she's training her. She got over it. So now she's training herself to engrave. So she's been practicing engraving on everything that doesn't move. And so this has got all sorts of little Easter eggs she's engraved on, the gas cap and the side covers and the canteen oil tank and the back axle drops. It's all hand engraved as she's learning the craft. And so that's been really fun, you know, to just see where that's taking us. And I'm really anxious to see in another year or two where she goes with it, because she's just brilliant with anything art and such a fantastically good illustrator, and so this is going to be great. And so that's just sort of the more rudimentary beginnings of craft she's teaching herself. And I just stand back with my jaw slacked. How do you do that? It's just crazy. So, but it makes it really fun, because you have these. My skill sets are totally different than hers, but we dovetail really neatly on things. You know, we see each other's idea kind of. So yeah, this is the first sort of full, joint build we've done from kind of start to finish. Has been this bike. So.
And there's not a lot of suspension on this bike.
Almost none.
Yeah.
But you got nice new springs on that seat.
Yes.
Yeah. That keeps you going.
It's gonna be fun. We'll when we get it home, we'll go ahead and service it and start using it. And so we just left the fuel and oil out of it for the show, and
Makes life easier that way.
makes life easier. And so just a little, maybe an hour of service, and she'll be riding it. So.
Nice. Wendy, you got any questions on this bike?
So this bike is going to be run at Bonneville, or
No.
just
This one is
bike?
not a Bonneville bike, not intentionally. It might be a pit bike.
Yeah, there you go.
It could potentially be a pit bike.
It sure is gorgeous.
I'm not certain about that, though, because that's kind of not a very nice thing to do to your bike.
Yeah, so, but yeah, you don't take a bike you love to Bonneville,
Well,
that's for sure.
Let's get to this one.
Okay,
There's a lot. First off, just the logo on the back has your name.
that's my
Mordo.
personal logo. Yes,
But that logo
it's Matchless.
is from a
I
Matchless.
stole it from Matchless.
Exactly.
Shameless.
As somebody with a daughter named Montessa, I support this.
There you go. There you go.
But what we're looking at is an Indian, but it doesn't look like any Indian I've ever seen. So
It's
what
a-
do we have?
It is a 1925 Indian Prince single, 350cc.
25?
1925. It's a 100-year-old
Oh my
bike.
gosh.
The fork is also 1925 Indian.
Yeah.
The frame, however, is like a 1948 Indian from a vertical twin or single, and then the tanks are again are Mustang, a Mustang scooter, and this bike it's expressly built for Bonneville. We do have a supercharger for it. It's not on right now, and Gina's destined to be the pilot. We went this year with the bike, and the salt was too rough, so we didn't run. Hopefully this year she'll get a clean run, and that we have several configurations we can do with this bike for several different record possibilities for her.
Is that seat off of a Schwinn?
No, it's off of a ESO Speedway bike from the 60s.
Oh,
So that
wow.
was you gotta have some race history to recognize the old Speedway seats, but they came and went. But coincidentally, the banana seats on Stingray bicycles
Yeah.
from when I was a kid were based on those.
Okay, that's why it looks
That's
like
where
that.
they came up with it.
Yeah.
And they had a little push bar like a Speedway bike, and that seat. The Speedways really took off at that time, as in the Speedway racing in the 60s, about the same time the Stingray craze hit.
Now, I noticed a common thread with both of these bikes. What do you have against front brakes?
Nothing in particular. You're only required to have one brake at Bonneville. So it's wherever it's the easiest to put it. In this case, the easiest place is on the back, but operated from the front. So that I don't really have anything against it. You just don't really need a brake for very much. It's just a pit brake. So you don't, braking isn't a huge part of Bonneville unless you're on a streamliner.
So,
Full on streamliner. Then you need a parachute, right?
there's some things I find interesting. Wendy, have you noticed? We're looking at a 1925 engine, 1940s frame. Have you noticed the bits and pieces from the future? That, like, you got a disc brake on the rear.
Yeah, exactly. You want to, well, you have to have the steering stabilizer.
and a
That's
steering
required.
stabilizer. Yeah.
The disc brake in the rear is convenience because I have so many Speedway parts that the Speedway wheels, you have flanges on both sides for the rear wheels. So you can have 2 different sprockets and you just flip over if you required. I'll just use a disc brake on one side. And not because there's any true benefit. It's because I have a lot of them. And the Salt is so hard on wheels that I don't want to take vintage wheels that are valuable.
Right.
When I can just take Speedway wheels that are a couple $100 and have a lot of them.
So I've not seen this setup before. I mean, I'm used to on the old bikes, the engine in the front, the transmission in the rear. But is that a Kickstarter or a shifter? What is that?
There's a Kickstarter here, and then that's the shifter there.
All on the same unit.
Yeah.
Have you seen that before, Wendy? The Kickstarter and the
It's
shifter
like a jockey
together.
shift, yeah.
And that's a
Interesting.
doll's head.
That's a doll's head transmission out of like a Bruff Superior, and they're like my favorite transmission. They're really sturdy and they can take a ton of abuse, and the guts of them are the same as later Norton transmissions, so they're easy to maintain. So, but aesthetically, I just love the doll's heads. They just look good to my eye.
So the other thing I noticed on this is that it has 2 spark plugs sticking out of the head.
Yeah, well, so that was a mother invention there, I guess, because I didn't have a single cylinder magneto that would work with this bike. I did have a modern Morris magneto for a Harley JD twin. So I figured I had 2 leads on that, so I took the original head and patterned it and cast a new head.
Because that's easier.
Because that's easier than finding and cheaper than finding a $1,000 magneto or a $20 casting. I mean, take your pick.
Not many people can do that.
So I cast up a new head and machined it and double plugged it, and then it's a wasted spark. It fires to a dead cylinder, which is normal, and on because it's a net for twins. But yeah, it works just fine.
Now, I like your catch cam on this. The catch cam. What the catch cam?
Oh, the catch can. That's kind of my trademark. I like to have catch bottles, but I like to use old Code Talk beer cans for it because they just look nice.
And
That's
actually,
all.
you have to have a.
And you have to have a catch bottle of some sort.
They don't want
And this
stuff
is-
going. They want you to keep the environment clean.
Right.
So
And they do. This is a total loss oil system, so it just whatever oil goes into the bike just blows out. It doesn't recycle like a modern bike. It just blows out to atmosphere, so it can make a bit of a mess. So you want to have a catch bomb.
So, Gina, Mordo built this, but you're riding it.
yes,
So what things did you have him do to make it fit you, work for you?
we're still working on that. He needs to move the transmission a little bit because at the moment I can't shift it.
I got to make a little different linkage for her. It's because of the steering angle. It's a little heavy steering, and it's a little awkward for her to reach down and make the shift. But it's sized for her, the handlebars and the foot pegs, and so we got to work through that a little bit. But we'll have it by August. We'll have it. That's when we go back. So we'll have that sorted, and she should be able to happily ride it.
So I'm going to see you on the Salt then.
You are.
Hopefully.
Actually, you'll see us at the front gate first.
Are you going to BMST this year?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll be at the gate. Yeah, we run the
We
gate.
spend Saturday and Sunday at the gate, and
Throw your bike out there. Why isn't it in the
Thank
show?
you very much. Now Mordo's already off talking to other people.
you want me to grab?
No, that's all right. So
We're doing an interview.
we're good. Thank you
Okay,
very much for sharing with us about these bikes, and look forward to seeing you at the Salt.
Cool. Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Thanks. So one of the things I look forward to the most coming up to the one show is running into old friends. And of course, one of the first people I find is our chair wrangler, Doug McMahon. Hey, Doug.
Hey, good to see you. Doug's Chair Emporium here.
You've been a friend of the show for a while and always been a great host and shown us some secret things and cool things. And I asked you if you knew of any bikes with a good story. and you said, oh, yeah, let me show you one. And you brought me over here. Tell me where we're at.
We're here at Triumph Columbia River's kiosk, where they've got a bunch of their vintage wear. And we're here with my friend Liz, who is, I say, a motorcycle icon here in the Portland area, even though she'll deny it.
So there's a bike here that you built, Liz?
Yeah, I have the Scrambler 1200X, and it was built because Triumph is actually doing a dealer competition, and so I had just under 5 weeks to put something together for it, and they asked to put it on a Scrambler base, and so this is what I came up with.
Now, Doug, why did you want to talk about this bike?
I don't know modern bikes as well as I know the old stuff, but I have a appreciation and a fondness for the Triumph brand and for Liz. And this bike, I watched it sort of come together. So I was over there at the shop one day and she showed me all these different ideas for things. And so I really kind of think it's cool to see something go from ideas on paper to a physical thing that you could get on and rip around on. And it's just been fun. Been fun to see that happen.
So what is the motto? What was your inspiration here?
This is my tribute to the Forest Service and Pacific Northwest adventure.
Okay, tell us more.
So a Scrambler is the perfect bike to get around on in the Pacific Northwest, right? And I grew up in the Rocky Mountains loving the Forest Service, hearing about Smokey Bear and wildfire awareness. And I always loved the green Forest Service trucks. And so I wanted a build that would honor that. And that's where the paint came from. And then
the green.
Yes, it's U.S. Forest Service green.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I found this company, Crooked Motors, out of Germany that make these really cool fiberglass pieces. And they're custom for the Scrambler. So they sent us those at a super great deal, and we had them painted. I traded my paint job for my BSA on this from my painter. So I had to cash it in, I know. And he said he would still give me a good deal. But
So let's talk about what comes in this kit.
The kit comes with a custom front fairing. It gives it that Dakar vibe.
Yeah.
The motocross front fender. And then it also has a custom solo seat with a nice metal rack.
Yeah.
And then super clean, tail tidy fairing, all with built-in LED indicators.
Nice. And there's some other bits that you've changed out. You've got a nice titanium exhaust on here.
Yep, we did the short shotgun exhaust. We did some hand guards, and then a secret little Danner elf made me a custom leather Danner tank strap, which is another nod to the beautiful Pacific Northwest love.
Nice. Now, Doug, you're somebody who has a fondness for vintage bikes.
Absolutely.
This is not a vintage bike.
Absolutely.
But that's one thing that's great about Triumph. So it has a nod to vintage. Aesthetically, what stands out to you? What do you like about this bike?
Other than the color and the badging that she's put on it, which is special to this bike, it looks like it wants to tear up Forest Service roads. It really does.
Exactly. Those are the bikes I love.
And, up in the Mount Jefferson area is a great place to go on bikes. And this bike would go on the highway, and then when you see a dirt road that looks like fun, you could just, without even thinking about it, tear it up.
Honestly, is there any street bike you can't put knobbies on and want to go off-road?
Any bike you ride on the dirt becomes
my street triple. Let's put knobbies on it.
It makes you want to go hit the trails. I know. It makes it more fun.
You put a bike in the dirt, it's a dirt bike. That's all there is to it. But this really looks like it would gladly do that.
So, Liz, what are you most proud of on this bike?
I think, that the vision came together, and a lot of people looked at me sideways and were like, you want to do what? I think aesthetically, it's really pleasing. It's a ton of fun to ride. I've gotten to ride it. Gave me an opportunity to meet Smokey Bear And I think my good friend Martha designed the tank decal, which is the nod to the Forest Service shield with the UK, though, Department of Motorcycles. And so that like really brought it all together.
So, Doug, I'm going to go back to your history of vintage bikes.
Sure.
This color green, you do not see on any modern bikes. Might we have seen this color in the past? Does this remind you of anything?
Well, it certainly is a Forest Service truck. I mean, it's Forest Service green.
But this
There's like a Bonnie or something out there. Didn't Triumph have like the kind of that minty green with the white?
This reminds me of the 1940s kitchens.
Oh, well, yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ceramic tile.
Exactly. Well, beautiful bike. Let's give a plug. Where are you out of again?
We are with Triumph Columbia River. We're southeast 180th and Gleason in Portland, Oregon. And I've been working with Triumph since I'm at 25 years. And so this is, I'm the GM there at the dealership, and it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. And I will say I'm very tempted to buy some shirts too.
They have
Because
some
Triumph
great-
makes very nice
I
shirts.
bought one of those this morning.
I've been eyeing that one too.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a pleasure. You're like one of my little celebrity, like, I don't know, whatever.
Shout outs.
Yeah.
well, thank you
Love
very much. Congratulations. It is a beautiful bike. And yeah,
Have fun
if you're
at the
in the
motor
area, go by and say hi to Liz.
Okay.
All right,
Cheers.
thanks.
Yep.
Okay, I am here at the one show and I've emerged out into the sunlight.
Feels pretty
To
nice.
find-
Beautiful day.
One of my favorite things that sadly wasn't here last year, but I always look forward at the one show to see the Seattle Cossacks. Drill team, stunt team, what exactly?
Motorcycle, stunt, and drill team.
All the things.
Yeah, whatever we could fit on one line.
I had never seen anything like this before. And I'm so glad you guys are back again and you're about to do a show.
We are.
But we're not going to talk about the stunts, though. Oh, we will for a second. You're setting a world record today?
That is TBD. We got a kind of a small show space and we're missing one guy, but we're going to do our best to put together a 4-machine pyramid.
Nice.
We might have practiced it a little earlier and we think we can pull it off.
There's a chance.
Yeah.
I'll be watching. But what we're here to look at is an unusual machine. Because for those who've never seen the Cossacks, there's a particular machine you guys ride. You can do a quick description. What's the year, make, model?
So our performance bikes are all full-size 1930s and 1940s Harley hand shift foot clutch motorcycles.
That's specific.
All different models.
Yeah.
Right? So we have little guys, we have big guys, we have knuckleheads, flatheads, but they're all that era.
Right. And they're all painted and matched, but there are slight differences you can see.
Actually, if you ever ride them, they're quite different.
Yeah.
Part
and
of that's individual preference.
And they're personal to the rider because that's a whole nother part
Absolutely.
of being part of the team.
The bylaws going back to 1938 say every member must own and ride their own, or own and maintain their own team bike.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what we're looking at here is not that.
Nope.
So tell me what we have here.
All right, so a little history real quick. The Cossacks started this tradition right after World War II of what they call a baby bike.
Okay.
And the first baby bike was a British paratrooper bike.
Okay.
They were meant to be put in a canister and dropped from an airplane. So they one of the Cossacks brought that home and they painted it in Cossack colors and they ran it for a period of about 10 years. And they eventually couldn't get parts for it anymore.
It's your version of a clown car?
It is exactly
Yeah.
the version of a clown car. You know where this is going. You find the biggest guy on the team and you make him ride the smallest bike.
Yeah.
Right? So long tradition. They finally wore out the parabike and they needed another one. And so one of our captains, a guy named John Mosier, built another one. John's was so small that it was almost unrideable. And so eventually John made a sidecar to go with it. Not because we needed a sidecar, but that was the only way anyone could ride it.
Right.
So that bike eventually got retired from the team, and we didn't have one for a long time. And I was asked to build one.
Now, when you say build, did you start with something or is this ground up?
No, I started with a stock 1955 Harley ST165.
Hold on, this is a Harley?
Yeah, it's a Harley. It's a 1955 Harley. So that bike is a two-stroke that was marketed to high school boys, right?
Really?
And maybe the occasional high school girl.
Girl, sure.
But the idea was get them brand aware and riding a Harley in high school, and you'd have them for life.
And we're talking, it's not, I mean, it's small, but it's got the split tank, it's got the round headlight, it's got the large fenders.
Yeah.
It's a just scaled down.
So my objective was to take that bike and make it look like one of our bikes, only smaller.
Okay.
So the mechanical stuff, the engine, transmission, drivetrain is all completely stock, right? Which is great for us because we will break it. We will need parts.
But it's mechanical and you guys can fix that.
Yeah. The frame was cut down
Okay.
to look more like a big twin frame. And my next challenge was to design and fabricate a Springer front end, which Harley stopped making in 1948.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
So that has parts for about 3 different mountain bike forks, mountain bicycle,
Okay, yeah.
and a few that I fabricated on my own. The headlight is an accessory light from a John Deere tractor. The fenders are handmade. The tank was fabricated by me, tanks, I should say. It used to be one tank. I split it, welded in the backs, cut off the bottom, inverted them, flopped them side for side.
Wow.
I have about 2 weeks of work just in the tanks.
Wow.
A good friend, a gentleman by the name of Joe Cooper, made the front and the rear fenders. And then a lot of little stuff I ended up fabricating myself.
Where do you get little grips like that?
Those are from a child's bicycle,
Wow.
as are the handlebars.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And the little bezel around the switch on top is probably my favorite part. That came from a 1950s bathroom scale. And I got to looking at it and I said, that's almost the right size for a Harley-Davidson switch.
I love that.
We intend to incorporate this in Cossack shows once again. It's brand new right now, but it runs real nice.
How many people can you put on it potentially?
Don't even go there. I keep telling my team, okay, how many of these parts are one of one, handmade?
Well, I have to ask that because one of the things you do is people will stand on fenders.
We do.
Can these support the weight of
Not
somebody?
if I'm within sight of it. We will do drills on it. We'll probably do a lot of clown type stuff, a lot of silliness. In parades, the Cossacks use the baby bike a lot, and it would just kind of weave throughout the rest of the team and do circles and pass out candy and that sort of thing. So that's probably what we'll do.
So whoever gets to ride the baby bike, is this like they drew the short straw? Or
Truth be told, it was kind of a punishment back in the day. So if you showed up at a show and your team bike was not running, you got to ride the baby bike.
Oh,
and I think they found that made people work a little harder to make sure their bikes were in good running order.
Well, this is great.
Yeah.
And the other thing I love about the Cossacks, you make jodhpurs look cool.
Oh, wow. That's a tall order. Us and parking valets, I think we're maybe the only ones.
So we're going to be watching you guys shortly perform. Where else can people see you all?
We have a schedule, which should be up to date. That's on our website, seattlecossacks.com. And we're going to perform probably 20 more times this summer, all over the place. So look us up on Facebook. You can, of course, see videos of us on YouTube and that sort of thing.
Good. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations on a fine little build.
Oh, thank you. It's a lot of fun, so we'll see how it runs.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Here at the One Show, day 2.
Day
officially.
2. Day 3 for you
Some
and
of
me.
us.
Yeah.
I know. And here with our good friend Doug McMahon again, I decided to start a new segment just for the One Show called what is it?
What is it? Or what was it? Or
There's so many bikes here
ah,
that, yeah, you play the game. What is it? And you brought one of the what is it? So I want to describe what I'm looking at because I've never seen one or heard of one before. So what appears to me is a little yellow traditional style moped in that it's got a step-through frame and a bicycle seat and pedals.
yeah.
But the motor's not where I'm used to it being on a traditional moped.
That's true.
This is called a, what is it called? What is it?
This is a 1975
Yeah.
Velosolex 4600.
That sounds like something AI made up.
Well, this is way before AI.
Yeah, I know. The motor is on top of the front wheel.
Yes, it is. It's technically a two-wheel drive
Technically.
because you pedal the rear wheels,
Yeah.
or rear wheel, and motor the front wheel.
So I remember like being as a kid, you could buy a motor, then it would drop down on your front wheel to give you like a ride assist.
A little boost.
This is kind of like that in that is there two wheels in there that are turning or just one?
So the way it functions is it's a bicycle
Yeah.
until you lower. So there's a little lever,
Okay.
and you lower the motor onto the front wheel, and there's a roller
Yes.
that's directly attached to the motor
On the top.
that pushes on the top of the tire
Yep.
and chugs it along. And so if you have the motor lifted, it's just a bicycle, it's disengaged, and then you lower it down and pull in. There's a little compression release, and you get going about 2 miles an hour and let the compression release out, and it comes to life. You could actually start it walking next to it.
Wow.
So at a walking speed, you can start these.
Oh, so you have to have it going to kickstart the motor?
Well, yes, it's a push start basically.
So, and
And
this motor that's sitting on it is,
Yeah.
I'm trying to describe the shape. Well, for people of a certain age, it's smaller than a bread box.
You could fit it in a bread box for sure. Absolutely. It's a nice little compact design,
Mhm.
and they made about 8 million of these in France
What?
between 1948 and
Ah,
1988. And
So-
then they continued to manufacture them in China and Hungary for a while afterwards. But they made, if our European listeners
yeah.
are going to know what this is. It's also not really a moped. It's more of a motor assisted bicycle.
Okay.
And that's kind of how they were marketed. So it'll chug along at a brisk 17 miles an hour on flat, level ground with no headwind.
What's the horsepower? Is it a full one?
I think, well, maybe. Depends on how hard I'm pedaling. And when it comes to a hill, which we have lots of hills here in Portland, I can go up the hill, but I have to pedal to do it. So it's kind of like the new e-bikes that you have to pedal for them to actually engage the motor. This, if you're going up a hill, you have to pedal.
And I have to say, just visually looking at it, it's not only intact, it looks like it's maybe 2 years old.
Yeah, well,
With the light wear and tear.
it's pretty light wear and tear. It was, I inherited it from a friend of mine who I got some other motorcycles from as well. And he had gotten it from a coworker whose husband passed away, and he had several Velosolexes, but this is a very complete, it has Italian grips and Italian levers, and
It's all
it has the French air pump, and it has a complete toolkit that's in the back by the tail light. It's
So
a very complete.
Did you have to do anything to it?
I replaced the tires because the tires were shot.
The tires are a particular tire.
The tires are particular to a Velosolex, and when I bought them, I bought the tire party, which is 2 tires, 2 tubes, and 2 rim strips. So they call that a tire party.
Well, the thing that's cool about this also, not only is it a runner, you rode it here.
I brought it to the show. Yeah. The nice thing is I could take the bike paths And I actually, coming over the bicycle-only bridge, got passed by bicycles as I was chugging along. So, but yeah, it'll go anywhere. And if I come to a place where I can't have a motorized vehicle, I just shut the motor off and lift it off the wheel and pedal it.
What are you talking about? What
And
motor?
there you are. It's a bicycle.
Well, let's continue this.
Let's.
What is it? Because there's quite a few bikes here
Well,
that.
if we just turn around.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you describe this one.
So what we've got here is,
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to say it's somebody's dream from the 1960s. Turned
it looks
into
like
a.
something Sid and Marty Croft created.
It does. Yes, it really does. You can almost see Puffin stuff cruising around on this. It looks like they took bicycle bits and made a frame.
You're at a loss for words. All right, let me help you out. It's a 3-wheel trike
It's a 3-wheel trike.
with some of like car tires. These look like drag tires.
These are certainly drag
on
tires
a mini bike trike with a
with a
engine in the rear.
engine in the rear and a enclosed body. Looks like something that Big Daddy Roth maybe designed.
It's a post-turn motor
Yeah.
with this what do we call this hood? The roof.
An enclosure.
An enclosure.
It's it looks like it's made out of Tyvek or old yard signs.
Yeah.
And it has a lovely airbrushed purple bubble theme with
It's
some teardrop windows
amazing.
and white shag carpeting on the interior. It's like a cross between a trike and a 70s shag wagon van and some Harbor Freight thrown in just for good measure.
It's pretty amazing.
It is
Well,
really
let's go down the
pretty
line
cool.
because there's another one that is also a little bit hard to describe.
I think it looks like your suit gone into your suit matches this perfectly.
Okay. What is it?
It is a sparkly.
It's not a moped. Okay. This
Yeah.
looks like.
It looks like it may have been a moped.
No, I think this might have been a CT90.
Oh, you're right. There, yep, it's got that cantilever
This
front
was
end.
a CT90 with the seat taken off and a small, fuzzy troll-looking thing.
Yeah, it's got a Muppet for a seat.
A Muppet seat. It's got like Schwinn Stingray handlebars with tassels and a little blue basket and flowers, but the entire thing is covered in blue glitter.
Oh,
And
like I said, it looks
bejeweled.
just like your suit. I mean,
It's amazing.
it is really cool. And pearls, so it is a formal. She's wearing her pearls around the seat under the blue Muppet.
Well, let's see what this next thing is. Oh, okay. I know what it was. But again, I'm going to try and describe this. So we're looking at what started life as a CT70. And the only thing here that's original, I think, is the engine and the frame.
And the backbone frame. It has forks that are probably 4 feet long,
I think 5 feet long.
maybe 5. They've made rigid struts for the rear suspension.
Rigid struts, yes. 5 foot long,
A wheel-
raked. They've raked this.
Oh, no, it's raked to within an inch of its life. Has a hand clutch. So
and
a
it's got
suicide
some
clutch.
shorty drag bars.
Shorty and crossed
Yeah, and
martial arts spikes.
it's got
just in
weapons
case. Just like,
on the sissy bar.
a ninja.
And again, more of the extreme shag carpeting on the seat. Because
Even more shag
you
carpeting
know what?
and white.
I will say it doesn't matter what bike it's on. This pinstriping and the silver brushing
Yeah,
on here, the paint is amazing.
Yeah, it's a nice, lovely matte purple paint with a engine turned silver exposed and this beautiful lime green pinstriping.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah, somebody did a really good job with the pinstriping.
All right, there's one more down here at the end that I think is the hardest. What's it? What is that?
That looks like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Okay. Okay, the first question is...
So I need to look at this a little bit more before I even can decide.
First thing I'm going to say to describe is it has one wheel. That's it. So we're looking at a thing with one wheel, a 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton pull start motor.
It's referred to as a one-wheeled
That's
conundrum.
Inside the wheel with giant, like 2.5-inch tube frame forks going to supporting a gas tank and handlebars.
The gas tank looks like it came off of my grandpa's old lawnmower. And on the other side is the chain drive.
It's
with a
belt to chain?
It's a chain drive to a belt. Absolutely. That looks like it has a centrifugal clutch. It does have safety rails to keep your fingers out of one of the chains.
And I'm going to guess that this wheel and tire is off of a Model T?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ribbed for your pleasure. Very narrow, old tire, but at least it's flat in its design, so you would have some stability.
It looks like some farm equipment.
And I don't know where you would put your feet.
I don't know what purpose it serves.
It does have a helmet.
It does.
I don't know which way's forward.
There's a clutch. There's a throttle.
Well, there's no clutch.
Rear.
There's
Is this a brake?
That's probably a brake, and this is a throttle.
Okay.
And the clutch is a centrifugal clutch down on one of those
It's
pulleys.
got a mirror, handlebars, and a helmet hanging from it.
I think this is the brake.
We don't know what.
So it's a strap brake.
Doug, I'm going to have to say, I think between you and I, we're pretty familiar with a lot of bikes in the world. And neither of us knows what
I've never seen anything like this. It does have official Harley-Davidson straps holding it onto its stand. So maybe it's a prototype. Maybe this is a 101.
But you know,
one.
I'm going to say this is what I love about the one show.
Yeah. Absolutely. The variety.
Variety and the creativity and the weirdness.
Yeah.
And the coolness and the fun is what's so great about this. So thank you for playing. What is it?
What is it? And the last one, I don't know.
What, this one?
No.
Oh, this
last one?
We don't know what it is.
We still don't know. It's a conundrum, like it says.
It is a conundrum.
Where would you put your feet?
You run behind it?
Run behind? Yeah, I guess.
I don't
I guess
know.
maybe it pulls you along like a horse out of control.
Maybe it's for wheelchair users.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh.
I
can see the wheels spinning now.
Literally.
All
That
right.
would be amazing.
Well, thank you. Let's go find some more cool stuff to see.
Let's find some cool stuff.
All right. All right. One of the things at the one show that I like is that, again, it's more than bikes. We've got a bunch of cars. We've got food. You'll hear the music playing all the time. There's so much here, but if you keep digging, you find even more things. And I found this cool truck with a bunch of tools in it, and we found Zach Crane. Hey, Zach, how you doing?
Good.
So,
Good.
what are you doing here at the one show?
We are kind of just getting our name out there since we're fairly new. We got the truck in just to show off what we're doing, give out business cards and flyers, and we got 2 bikes in the show.
So what is it that we're doing? We're in a truck full of tools,
Yeah.
a lift.
We are a mobile motorcycle mechanic shop, and we specialize mostly in V-twin cruisers, adventure, and dirt bikes.
Should I insert joke of, V-twin cruisers really need a mobile mechanic?
They do. They really do. There's more horsepower than IQ with us.
So yeah, you're set up centrally located here, and you got the back open, and you've got a tire machine on display and a nice couch, which to me is an invitation to come on in. It shows you're like, welcome.
Absolutely.
And a nice engine on the bench. But what I really like too is you have this pneumatic lift, hydraulic or pneumatic?
Electric over hydraulic.
Electric, that drops down into the truck floor.
That was a feat. I didn't know if it was going to work. So my buddy came over one Saturday and we just started cutting, and we were getting a little nervous towards the end, and it worked out. And it's seamless at this point.
Yeah, the fact that it goes flush with the floor is just awesome.
Yeah.
Before this, I had a Pittsburgh, the Harbor Freight lift, and I just had it screwed to the ground, but it stuck up 6 inches, so it was kind of cumbersome working around it. And then I had to, before the lift on the back of the truck, I had to ride up a ramp and then up a ramp onto the lift. So there was one time when I was working on it was almost a 6-figure bike, and I almost dropped it. And I was like, I have to make some changes.
And to give an idea of the truck, this is like a moving truck?
And it's an old hazmat truck. So it was actually used for moving dead bodies before I bought it.
Oh,
Dead serious.
okay.
There were
right.
shelves inside and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, I got it at a steal. It had 160,000 when I bought it, and I just gutted it and started doing the work.
So I'm curious, and the reason I wanted to talk to you is we know a lot of mechanics. We've got Wendy here.
Yeah.
But I've only actually known one mobile mechanic ever. How many have you known, Wendy?
I was mobile for a while, but I haven't, maybe one other.
It's not that common, but to me it seems like it fulfills a need.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about what are the pros and cons. So why did you become a mobile mechanic?
I've been a mechanic since I was 16. I started out on air-cooled Volkswagen stuff, and got my first Harley. I got my first Honda at 18, and just started wrenching on them then. I'm a school bus mechanic by day, and 3 years ago, I was here at the One Moto Show, and I bumped into Rochelle from True Grit. Shout out to her. And I just kind of picked her brain because I liked the idea and I thought about it. And then when I saw her, I was like, I have to do this. And I think 4 weeks later, I bought the truck. I just said, it's time. It's got to do something.
So why mobile rather than finding a base somewhere? Yeah.
Well, as people know, Portland's getting pretty spendy. An 1,800 square foot shop you're looking at $4,000 to $6,000 a month. So my overhead is...
That still sounds cheap. I'm from California. We were
That's
at
cheap?
the Hat last night.
We were
I'm
too.
like, look at how big this place is.
That place is massive. I don't know what I would do with that amount of space.
Yeah.
I know.
I would like to be brick and mortar someday and then still keep this. So, I mean, if I do brick and mortar, it'll be Bandit's Moto Magic and then keep this as mobile. But my low overhead, I just have my business insurance, $2 million policy in case I mess somebody's bike up, and then auto insurance. And all the tools are paid for, the truck's paid for. So the initial investment was a lot, but now I'm just making it back.
So are you more like an EMT that you're going out to calls where people need
Curious, is a roadside
a quick
rescue involved?
fix?
No. So
Okay.
one of the stipulations with my insurance was I can't do any towing. So I can't be operating on the road with someone's bike in the back. And they asked me that numerous times when I was setting on the insurance. They're like, you're not towing, you're not towing, you're not towing. So what I do is I go to their house, load the bike, work on it, unload it, and I go home. So it's more turn and burn. I'm not doing, this is my personal engine.
Okay.
I just threw on here just for show. But I'm doing tires, oil changes, accessory installs, troubleshooting, things that I can get done within 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours.
All right, Wendy, I want your opinion. As somebody who's had a brick and mortar, what do you see as the pain of having this?
I mean, the first thing that obviously comes to my mind as a clumsy idiot is tripping all over everything.
Which I do.
Right, the in-ground install on this lift is just incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
the number of times I've tripped over the lift in a regular shop, and is staggering, and then in this small space. So that was a really impressive adaptation to the space that you have to work with. And it's, you look at this truck from the outside and you don't think it's that huge, but you genuinely, the way you've got this set up, you've got plenty of room to move around the bike and get done what you need to get done.
What's that?
That's my diesel heater for the cold months.
Oh.
Yeah, it's plumbed right into the tank into the batteries, and it'll heat this truck in about 15 minutes.
Wow.
Close the door, it gets cranky.
You got a little wash sink.
Yep.
What about, let's see, I'm thinking, what does every shop have? Compressor.
So I have a miniature compressor right here,
Okay.
but down below there I have a 60-gallon tank that I charge at home before I go to jobs. And then I use that to maintain the pressure. That really is just for blowing stuff off and running the tire machine.
The one thing I can see, like machine shop tools, like drill press?
I have one. It's funny because I was going to put it on for this weekend, but I'm trying to add up something where I can just kind of hang it, and then when I need it, bring it down.
Bring down onto the
Yeah,
bench.
below here, you see these holes?
Yeah.
If I need the vise, I just bring it over here, and I've got nut zerts in the bottom, and I just send them in.
But you got some side-by-side toolbox benches here. Probably everything you need.
Just about everything.
Including, I want to give a shout out to Zach because we'll get into it, but Wendy needed some tools, and we're like, what are the chances he's got some metric tabs? He's like, sure, here you go. Like, yes, Zach for the win.
So when this top drawer is all my sockets, and when I set up this rail, I went to my first shop, I was like, this is all metric, because I grew up working on Volkswagen. So this is set up for Volkswagen air-cooled stuff, and I was like, I gotta buy some SAE stuff.
Yeah.
So I started bringing stuff home from work.
Oh, well, that's another thing. I mean, securing everything.
This locks, so before I go to any job or if I leave my house,
So you got all the organized. Yeah, we found out it was locked last night when we tried to borrow in finger quotes tools. You really have everything. What would be the next thing you'd figure out how to add in here?
Customers,
I mean, having that big tire changer is a real win.
more customers.
More customers.
I do want to do a skylight. These are kind of integral. I think they're adding some stability, but
Yeah.
I would like to be able to have just natural skylight in here because it's
So
kind of
Wendy,
gloomy.
maybe you need a truck like this.
So I'm pondered that before. I had a mobile setup, and So what do you think? Like next steps for you? Would you be like expanding your mobile fleet, or would next steps be more of a brick and mortar?
I have 5 acres of land I'm under contract and I'm about to sell. And once that sells, my wife and I are going to buy a second home with a shop so I can start bringing in bigger projects, stuff that'll take a month or a week or, I talk to you and 6 bikes. I have 9 bikes in my garage right now and it is just like, and I have 2 lifts and it's just like, this sucks.
It's got to be tough to gauge those jobs. I mean, we've all had those jobs where you say yes because what the customer describes is pretty straightforward, and what you find on your lift is complete chaos.
That is
How do you handle that?
So that's a very good question. So a lot of times at the end of my day, I'll leave my work and I'll drive to the customer's location in my daily driver, and I'll kind of gauge it. I'll look at it and it's like, yeah, I can do it. Or, hey, we're going to have to order all of these parts. I need to rebuild your caliper, so I'll buy a kit. And if I don't need it, if I'm able to rebuild it, reuse all the seals, then I just refund the money and return it to a shop. But when I first started, I was saying yes to everything, and it bit me in the ass so many times. I was losing money on some of the jobs, and now it's a little more diligent in it. And I send stuff to Word of Mouth. He's got a booth over here, JC. And then Old Flame Cycles, which is the old Legion Moto Co. Send stuff to them. Stuff that I can't handle or it's too long of a job. Right?
Why do you think there aren't more mobile mechanics?
I don't know. And I don't know. It could be a lot of fun for people.
I said I knew one, and he was unfortunate enough to get jury duty on a murder trial that went for months and kind of killed his business.
What was his name?
This is not in this state.
Oh, okay. So I was talking to a couple here, and she was up in Kamloops, BC, and she broke down, and she told me the name. It's in my phone, but he has a similar setup. It's a Ford box truck, and then Rochelle. That's all that I know of. Yeah.
I wish there was more. It's a great service. The amount of times that people call me when they're broke down to come help them out or bring my trailer, pick them up.
Yeah. I want to add that to the business because I have a Ford, so just emergency roadside tows.
Yeah.
It definitely is a unique skill set. I think people have the impression that a mobile mechanic maybe is somebody that doesn't have the chops to have a brick and mortar. I think the skill set you need to do mobile mechanics is far and away beyond what you need to run the brick and mortar, because you've got to be prepared for anything. You've got to be ready for surprises in a way that you don't need to in a shop.
But I was just going to say, I think you need to do a really good job of assessing the job at hand before you start, so you can do that in and out thing, because you can't leave a bike on this bench,
Exactly.
Well, I can also see the advantage of just like this. You can go to where the potential business is. I mean, you're here just kind of showing your services, but Have you ever like gone to the races and parked in the
I
pits?
have not. We've thought about it. We want to go to PIR to it's called beaches,
Yeah.
but just go and BS. But actually, this summer we're the mechanics for a motorcycle rally called the Northwest Bike Week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a stunt show, mini bike races. But we're going to pull up there at camp for 4 days. And last year it was called the 1,000 Bike Rally, and we did 50 tires for the stunt show.
Cool.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We're stoked on that.
Well, I appreciate you've been here helping us too.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun doing that tire demonstration. Make sure you edit that.
So thank you very much. And it's great what you're doing, but how you've got this kitted out to be really like efficient use of the space.
Yeah, it's actually registered as an RV. So when I went to the DMV, DOT, you got to have a number. You have to get yearly inspections. You have to do this and do that. So when I went to the DMV, they're like, well, how's an RV? I was like, well, it has a fridge, it has a sink, it has water, it has a generator, it has a heating source, it has a cook plate, and it has a sleeping. They're like, you sleep on it? I was like, I'm Buddhist. She's like, here's your RV tags. And so it's every 2 years I get tags. My insurance is much cheaper. Yeah.
Right on. Well, give everyone a plug. Say the name, where you're out of, how do they reach you if they're in the area and need help.
I'm Zach with Bandits Mobile Moto Mending. You can get us on Instagram at Bandits Mobile Moto Mending or motomending.com.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Awesome. It was nice meeting you all.
Yeah. Great. Thanks.
Awesome.
Hey, I am here with Wendy, and we are on day 2 of the one show. Wendy, how you holding up?
It has been quite the adventure so far.
There's so much to see. We've done a lot. We've
endured a lot.
Yeah. But what's your kind of takeaway? What's the vibe? How does this feel different from every other rally you've been to?
It really does. I mean, it's got, kind of those bits and pieces of all the events we like. It's got a bit of that, low-key vintage motorcycle days things. It's got, it's a bit museum. It's a bit art show, but with a really cool overall vibe. Just total different mix of bikes and people.
So I noticed that there is a distinct kind of style here. I call it this Portland style.
Mm-hmm.
What have you noticed? What would you do? How would you describe this?
Yeah, I mean, there's, keep Portland weird, I think, is one of the unofficial mottos, and definitely people are taking that to heart. They're bringing out their A games, keeping it weird, keeping it fun.
There is definitely a style. There's a lot of boots. There's a lot of thick-rolled cuffs on jeans, a lot of fall colors and plaid, trucker hats, leather, Mexican blankets everywhere.
Yeah, very
patches, checker, overalls.
Kind of grunge 90s tinge with a little je ne sais quoi.
But alive and well. And it adds to the whole vibe here.
Oh, for sure.
I wanted to give a quick shout out to the women that are hosting us. We've been hanging out all weekend here. It's the Lita's Portland Collective.
Mm-hmm.
And they were nice enough to set up chairs and make everyone welcome here. And really enjoying it here.
And the Rose City Rascals. Also, responsible for womaning the booth and making sure everybody's comfortable and having a good time.
We've also seen a few of the Misfit shirts and met a lot of people here.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah,
we were wearing the right shirts yesterday. Met several people with those very shirts on.
Yeah, it's such a great vibe. Well, let's keep walking around, see what we find, and let's see if we can get your bike running.
It's gonna be great.
All right. All right, here at the one show, and I stopped at a booth in the vendor market because I had some questions and I wanted to see if they had answers. I am here at the Mecum auction booth with Craig Mallory. Hey, Craig, how you doing?
Very well, thanks.
I hit you with some hard questions. There's something that we've been noticing: the values of motorcycles is going crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Things that had value are dropping. A lot of the European bikes, a lot of the American Big Twin customs. What are some of the drops in values that you've seen that kind of surprised you?
Yeah, it doesn't really come as a surprise. I think, what we see is a demographic shift. We're seeing one generation of collectors kind of get out of collecting because they're just, up against, they don't want to leave their family with these bikes, and so far no one's ever taken them with them. So there's going to be, some of the things that were popular over the last 3-4 decades are going to kind of decline in value as there's more for sale, fewer people to buy them. And then consequently, you see another generation coming in behind that we're hoping, is going to continue buying, and they're interested in other kinds of bikes. So, while you see things like British bikes that were worth, $15,000, $20,000 only 7 or 8 or 10 years ago, those are down to about maybe half of that value. We see things like early 90s, late 80s, even early 2000s super bikes, particularly homologation specials, rare special editions. Those things are increasing in value, doubling in the last couple of years.
Well, Iconic Motorbikes, they saw that coming and they started.
They've done a fantastic job kind of, cornering and creating a lot of that market.
The first year models, Gixxers, R1, that kind of stuff. And that has to do, as you said, you have certain segment of collectors who are aging out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another way of saying dying off. And now you have these collectors who are people of a certain age that have money to spend that fondly remember bikes from their youth, which is just 20,
absolutely
30 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, everyone, when they hit maximum earning potential age, wants to buy the bike that they wanted that was the poster on their wall when they were, teenagers, so, and we see the same thing with cars, obviously, so these things happen. The demographic trends have always been part of the collecting business. In cars, you had brass era cars that were commanding tons and tons of money for a long time, and now they just don't,
Well, with cars, I watch the Mecum auctions, and there are a lot of people that are just buying and selling as investments.
Right.
Certain sports cars, it's just an investment. Set it aside and wait 2 years, and it may go up. I mean, Bugatti is a perfect example of that.
For sure. Yeah, there's a certain level of cynicism that, I got to kind of keep away from thinking about too much, because I hate to think of them as just investments. Obviously I appreciate the enthusiasm that people have, particularly for motorcycles. That's my area of interest. And and I like when collectors are doing well with their collections with bikes that they love. That's the best case scenario.
Well, if we're looking at now kind of early year, like 90s super bikes, sport bikes that are coming up in value,
Mm-hmm.
What is the criteria? Because you're not going to go on Craigslist and just buy an old R6.
Well,
stock condition, low miles. What are you looking for?
Ideally, and hopefully not, taken to a racetrack. But those are kind of the conditions that you find these things in sometimes. And so then you have your real enthusiasts who are restoring the bikes from whatever condition it is that they find them in. And they're doing the hard work of finding NOS bodywork, in particular with sport bikes, that's been sitting on a shelf with maybe a dealer that, is not in a highly populated area and just happened to have that set of 999R bodywork sitting on the shelf at, some little Ducati dealership in some little town. So when they get lucky and they can find those, they have the opportunity to make a nice restoration. Yeah.
Now, would you suggest to people who maybe don't consider themselves collectors, thought that they couldn't afford these bikes that are at Mecum auction, that maybe now is the time to go? Because I've seen crated Hondas that weren't significant bikes. I think I saw a crated Honda CB
We
125.
had a pair of them in a box. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How much did that go for? It
I
wasn't
can't
that
remember
much.
off the top of my head, but it wasn't a ton of money. I mean, they were just little CB 125s. So,
Right.
there's only so much that they're going to do. But yeah.
But maybe this is an opportunity for people to get in while these prices are depreciated.
Absolutely. I mean, if you were, if you're into things like, restored golden era, British twins, bikes that were a lot of money not too long ago are now selling for about half of that. So, you can buy a Triumph Bonneville for, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000.
Oh, it's Craigslist money.
That's been really gone through and, and is a really, really nice, nice restored motorcycle. So, I'd like for people to be enthusiastic about that stuff and be there to be the next generation of buyers to support the prices on things like that.
And since you're seeing these trends happening, what about the American custom market? Do you think it went too extreme, and now it's those bikes that are too extreme are just nobody wants them anymore?
I think that, certainly when a lot of those bikes were built and purchased new, they were going for outrageous sums of money. We had a number of things in the economy that were happening. We had a lot of people that were using home equity and basically just using it as play money and doing some silly things with it. And the whole country kind of paid a price for that. So, I discount immediately whatever, amount of money people say they have invested into these things or whatever it is they purchased them for. Unfortunately, what we're seeing kind of across the board is values on late 90s, early 2000s choppers from that kind of TV era of biker build off and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The crate S&S motors or a RevTech engine and a custom frame, throw a bunch of billet components on it, some PM wheels, some brakes. They're kind of down to the price of the components at this point.
I think less than that.
And even less than that sometimes
Yeah.
it is. We're talking, $8,000, $10,000, $12,000 sometimes on bikes that were pushing six figures brand new. So there's definitely a time of reckoning that we're in right now. But that said, there was a time when 70s choppers weren't worth anything. They were ridiculous. And nobody had any love for that aesthetic for the longest time. And now, if you can put your hands on original Arlen Ness Digger, you're done. You can retire. So that maybe they come back around. Maybe at some point, the aesthetic switches and people have a fondness for, early 2000s American chopper style stuff. I don't know. It could happen.
So I'm going to ask you a hard question now. I'm going to ask you to pick one model that you're going to say, I predict this model will take off.
Well, I've got one in the garage. So your 74 Honda CB200 in green that's your meal ticket right there. You're gonna want to lay your hands on one of those for sure.
Yeah, there's not many of those.
No, I think
Somebody's going to pop down their money. Like something under 10 grand you could buy right now.
Under 10 grand right now, boy, I would be buying, I'd be trying to find a first year R6, R1. Even those are going to be hard to find, at 10 grand right now because,
Really?
people are recognizing that the value.
Well, they're still taking them to the track.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of that for sure. I don't know. Everything is basically on like a 25, 30-year clock.
Yeah.
And, even the most unlovable bike, as we've seen sometimes, you wait 30 years and they come around and people say, why wouldn't I want to spend an absurd amount of money on this Yamaha Radian?
Let me ask you this. Something that we've been tracking that we're surprised how little the value is now. What are you seeing with the Sportster?
The Sportster is...
Because you're talking decades.
Right, we're talking about
Sportsters.
50 years of them.
But what I find is that Harley people don't want the Sportster because it's a girl's bike or beginner bike.
Yeah.
And non-Harley people don't want it because it's a Harley.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fallen through the cracks. But it's a really cool bike you can do a lot with.
It is. It's a great bike. And unfortunately, in order to have any collectible value, they kind of have to be unmolested. So, while they're very easy to customize into whatever you want your vision to be in order for it to be, collectible and make, decent money at an auction environment. They kind of got to be stock. And so, backing out of those old customizations and finding those stock parts can be a bit of a challenge. I've got one sitting in my garage right now and I can't find the pipes for it. You just can't.
So can anyone go to a Mecum auction?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And where are they at?
So we have about 12 auctions all over the country. Our car events are, anywhere from Indianapolis to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We're going to be in Nashville this year for the first time. Our giant car auction, the world's biggest collector car auction, is in Kissimmee, Florida in January, right after New Year's. It literally happens right before we go to Las Vegas for the world's biggest motorcycle auction. So it's a bit of a challenge schedule-wise. But we do sell bikes at all of those car events as well. So you will see motorcycles at all of those events. But then the big one for us in motorcycles is end of January at the South Point. We've been there going on 36 years now. It's the world's biggest collector motorcycle auction. It's 4 to 5 days. About 1,800 to 2,000 motorcycles will be presented. And you don't have to be a bidder. You can just go to attend. We sell tickets at the door for $25 or $30. You can check it out. Just come see it as a bike show.
And you have like vendor booths and stuff.
Yeah, there's a vendor row.
Thing.
It's a whole thing. You can spend all day hanging out, just looking at bikes. It's a lot of fun.
And where do people go to find out more?
They can find everything at mecum.com, MECUM.com.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, I am over at the Livewire booth. I was surprised to see Livewire at the one show. This is first time here, I think. And I am here with our old friend Amanda.
I'm only 46, Liza. Cool it.
No, but you're a fixture here at the one show.
Sure am. I've been around the block, and since I live here in Portland, it's a hometown show. I try not to miss it.
And you're here with Miken.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
And Livewire has quite a presence.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, keep going. Tell us.
Well, no.
Tell us. Please tell us.
When I will say, a few months ago, when I was watching the Gas Monkey Garage build off of electric bikes, and they're using live wires, and then I saw what creative things they were doing, and then to find them here, I'm like, that's pretty cool. Mixing vintage chopper. And then I come here at the Livewire booth, and it's not a custom. It's not. I mean, you have some of the standard live wires. What's this model called again? Is that Del Mar?
It's Del Mar,
Del Mar?
and it's the snow and ice bike. So it's made to terrain.
Yeah.
It's made for ice racing. It's
Yeah.
a custom bike and not for
Custom
sale.
bike.
So they're off our Del Mar platforms.
Yeah.
This one here is made in-house. This one over here is from Jeff Holt from V-Twin Visionary.
Yeah.
So we paired him along with the Richard Rollins Gas Monkey Bike Garage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they did like a showdown in the old K Corral in Milwaukee. It was great. I was there. I saw it all go down, people. It was rad.
But there's something else here I was surprised to see. So one of my questions is, we know that Livewire has separated from Harley and is its own entity now. By separating, is that giving Livewire the freedom to be more creative and try new things?
Absolutely. We're our own distinct personality, brand, identity. This platform, the S4 Honcho, it's about fun. It's about freedom and just getting out there. And it's an approachable bike. We have an off-road version, which is trail. You don't need a license. So it opens a market that, people who don't have a license can hop on this in the backcountry roads, campgrounds, whatnot. And then the street version.
Do you refer to it as a mini bike?
It's a 125cc, approximately.
Equivalent.
Yeah. Equivalent.
And this isn't company approved. This is my Amanda Sunvor's own opinion. I say it's a mini bike for adults, man.
It's bigger. I mean, the feedback we all heard and all of everybody, it's bigger than they thought because it is powerful.
Yeah.
And it's meaty. It's not a little Suron that you see, kids riding in the streets at your local grocery
I'm very
store.
sorry, but for our listeners, so I can better describe, really, you're the first ones to market with what it can be called an electric draw. It is that same market. And I know there are other manufacturers who are trying to get there, but you got there first.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a draw, but it fits that same kind of,
It's
let's
a
put
competitor.
big people on a little bike to have stupid fun.
And for the people listening at home, these bikes look cool as heck, man.
Better than a
You're
draw.
blowing out the microphone.
Well, I'm just trying to get my, my joie de vivre, my passion for this platform.
And they're
across.
super fun to ride. I mean, that's me in that photo. It was a
nice.
blast. I was in Texas.
All right, Amanda, how would you describe the Honcho?
Well, I would say the Honcho is built for fun. It is a bike that harkens back to how a lot of us started out on these mini bikes, except you're not going to have your knees all the way to your chin by riding this bad boy, or you're not going to put a little kid on the back and wheelie off of it, right? It's got more substance, but it makes you feel like a kid. It's also a tool for adults. Like, you could do some serious business on it and save some money. You could commute, but you could also not be that jerk at a two-stroke at the campground at 2 a.m. Who was that? It was me. It was me. It'll help your friends not stay mad at you. Yeah. So.
I mean, that's really why Honda came out with the Trail 70 in the 70s, to have a campground bike, something for just doing little trails that was small and easy. And this is kind of picking up where that left off.
That was the first bike I ever rode, man, in my life. The year was 1986. Drove it straight on in my grandma's garage, man. That fiberglass patch is still there to this day.
So you said, you have a road legal one, so it's got the signals and everything.
Yep.
And then the off-road one.
The trail.
So I'm curious, right now there's a huge trend with bikes, Sur-Ron style e-bike that aren't really e-bikes. They don't have pedals. Why would somebody choose a bike like this over something like that?
Power, styling, heritage, quality. I mean, the qualities are not.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting legendary innovation from designers and engineers, decades of research, and it's an incredible product.
Legendary. Heads across the board.
So these, they're not out yet.
No.
Negative.
When and where?
We don't have an official launch date, so these are pre-production models.
Okay.
And later this year is what I'll say. And Harley dealerships and potentially others.
So because it's Livewire, you can have it in other dealerships.
Oh yeah, we sell all of our S2 models, Livewire ones, all through the Harley.
So that's an advantage from separating as well.
And if you want to know where that's at, just access our website and hit that dealer locator.
Yeah, livewire.com.
Yes, we're doing good.
Then the questions, the common questions.
Yeah.
What's the range?
Around 100 miles. These are all pre-production models, so it's an around estimate, but around 100 miles.
What's the speed capped on? And is it different from both bikes?
A little above 50 miles an hour.
And for the people at home, Mike is moving her hands around a lot.
I am moving my hands
When she says
a
around,
lot.
there's a lot of hand.
There's a lot of circling motion.
And because it's because it's pre-production, there's not a price set yet, but in the 5,000 to 7,000, is that the target?
I would say bingo-ish, yeah.
And that's where all the other bikes of this size are falling in.
Yep.
I mean,
we'll
it
have
makes sense.
accessories and some customization options, which will be really cool.
So will there be customization?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It'll come out with some awesome stuff. I don't know if I'm supposed to share some of this stuff, but I'll say
inside scoop. Inside
trail,
scoop.
I might get it. Travel. There's like a super sweet headlight even for the trail version. So if you want to go night riding, there's a really cool fixture that goes on the trail.
Nice.
Things like that. So it'll be pretty sweet. And then we'll do some funky stuff. We're gonna do some funky stuff.
We're Livewire. We keep it
stuff.
funky. You got to get up to get down, Liza. Come on, you know that.
Now,
camping gear.
I'm going to ask you a question I didn't prepare for before, and you
laser
welcome
beams
to not answer. But going back to my first question, now that it's separated and there's that creativity, are you guys coming up with a lot of trying to throw stuff at the wall and find other different niches to fill? Or are you trying to stay mainly in street bike, What's the future of Livewire?
So two-wheel for the most part, electric, obviously.
Yeah.
At EICMA this past year, we introduced a scooter, the Parisian, which was
cool.
really cool. So it's a very European, it's a concept model. It's not, this honcho, S4 honcho will come out prior to that. This is a future product design. We have a lot of innovation with DC fast charging and things like that. So
the future.
Yes, a lot of future product. I think for the most part, as it stands right now, very two-wheel focused. But we also, so Livewire Group, our LLC, we own STACYC as well. So when you talk about Surons and whatnot, our company, we are one and the same. So we have a 12-inch children's, like a 3 to 5-year-old.
Start them young.
A family that shreds together, stays together, man.
My 12-year-old.
Even the goths
I mean,
know
I
that.
actually have 4 STACYCs in my garage. My 6-year-old and 12-year-old are ripping around all over the place on these things, and they're great.
I love it.
So,
this is cool. So, it's a good thing that Livewire is split, standing on their own feet, and can explore the whole EV market, which is hard right now, but you're finding niches that haven't been filled.
Exactly.
Well, good job. You want to give a plug? Where do people find out more about the honcho?
Livewire.com.
Livewire.com, baby. Hit that dealer locator. Or, hit our event page. We might be coming to a town near you. You can meet me. My name's Amanda Sunvor. I'm a nice lady, and I'm your friend. Just
She's
like
the best.
Honcho, which is your best friend.
She's the best.
Right.
Amanda will be your best friend.
I will. I'm pretty cool. I'm a cool dude.
She's awesome.
All right, thank you very much.
Say hi to Jim for me, man.
I will.
Right on.
Thank you.
All right, here we are. It's end of the night, Saturday night. I've been here for 3 days. Wendy, you've been here for better part of 2 days. Well, 2 days.
Yeah.
48 hours. We've seen a lot of things. We've done a lot of things.
We have wrangled a lot of chaos.
That's well put. What we haven't talked about yet is what happened with your bike. We intended to do a lot of interviews with people here and find the cool stories, but turns out, Wendy, you're the story.
Yes, things went a bit sideways, starting on my ride in, and continued to go sidewayser at an alarming rate.
Which, there's a reason why you weren't on a lot of the interviews. Thanks to Jason and Doug for helping me out. So let's start with Wendy. What happened?
So I had picked up a nail. I was coming in from British Columbia. Got a puncture in my tire on the way down. Plugged it.
Not a problem for you.
Not a problem. I had everything I need. Plugged it, inflated it. Was on my way. And then it chucked the plug out of the tire. In rush hour traffic coming through Olympia, Washington. So went ahead and repaired it again. But going from 42 to 0 instantaneously, I no longer trust that tire. So I just limped it the rest of the way into Portland. And I figured I would get a brand new tire for the ride home.
All right. Not too big of a problem, but you had basically 1 day to get this done.
Right. Yeah.
Well, no, you got in Thursday, so you had 2 days to get it done.
Yeah. So
not a problem.
Not a big deal. I can pull the wheel. I've got all the tools I need to pull the wheel. I can pull it in the parking lot of any cycle gear. But cycle gear turns out has a 24-hour turnaround time at most shops anymore. They don't do walk-in emergency tire R&Rs for poor stranded travelers. So
well, I got a message from you on the side of the road, and you're like, "Find me a tire."
Mm-hmm.
So I called over to Cascade Moto. That's one of the local dealerships here, and they had it in stock.
Mm-hmm.
They were willing to do it in 1 day. I mentioned you're a traveler. A bit of a hefty price to install. But we had a plan.
Yeah.
And then we had a newer plan because we had another opportunity came.
We did. We, walking around the one show, we ran into Zach.
Zach, our buddy who we interviewed.
Yeah, at the Bandits Mobile Moto Mending. And he offered a unique opportunity. They were not doing repairs during the show, but he was willing to do a demo on my wheel, swapping the tire. So
no problem for you. You got the tools. Take the wheel off. You took an Uber out to Cascade, picked up the tire?
No, I rode out.
You rode out there.
The plug
okay.
was holding air. It was just a few miles.
So you pick up a tire, you go to another shop next door to him that has more parts because you also decide.
Yeah, while I've got the wheel pulled off, I'm going to go ahead and pull the brake pads. One of them was getting real lean on the rear, so might as well do it while I'm in there.
And so now you've got a newly mounted wheel. Go swap it out. No problem. You go out to the parking lot. You're gone a while.
I was gone for quite a while, and I had found that the caliper, which rides on slide pins on the caliper carrier, and those slide pins were seized up. One of the slide pins was seized up, so I was able to get one out and replace the pads, but I wasn't able to get the caliper moving freely, which I needed to do to reinstall the caliper. So I was out there fighting with it, trying to get it to do what I wanted it to do.
Which started then with the next problem that came from that. You started stripping the threads or cross-threading.
I thought I was cross-threading it, so I wanted to rule that out. So again, Zach,
back to Zach.
Yeah, he hooked us up with some, with a tap and die set. And so we were able to confirm that those threads were clean. That wasn't the problem. So, I got under there. I long since gave up on keeping my nice clothes clean, rolling around on the ground of this industrial shipyard. And got up underneath the bike and found that the caliper was really, really cockeyed in the carrier.
I believe I had left you again thinking everything's under control now.
Surely we are on the upswing.
I left you and you were gone a long time. I come back out to check. There's a new problem.
Indeed.
You can't get the caliper on because the whole caliper won't slide on the float pins to line up, and you're just lying there on your back in the hot sun, just trying over and over and over.
Trying to get it to cooperate, because there's not a really solid plan B in this situation. I feel quite confident that if I start breaking parts, nobody is going to have the parts I need locally. So
at this point, I said, here's what you need to do. Because I am one to tell the mechanic who knows their bike very well what they should do.
Right.
And I said, you need to just remove the caliper because you were trying not to remove it from the banjo bolt, because then bleeding it would be a whole nother problem.
Right.
So you were literally upside down under the bike trying to work on this without disconnecting the caliper from the line.
I felt while bleeding brakes in theory in a shop is quite straightforward, I did not want to open a whole entire other can of worms on a bike with linked brakes in a dirty parking lot with a very short turnaround time before I had to be back on the road.
So I came up with a new idea.
It was great.
Go get help. So I went in and got our friend Jason, bless his heart, who came to help. And we started scavenging parts from old forklifts and things outside of the Zidell yards. I'm finding brake cleaner fluid and pipes and 4x4s.
It was like the loaves and fishes of trash to be used for our repair purposes.
It's literally like just a storage yard of old industrial equipment. I'm going up into cabs and I found cigarettes, all sorts of stuff in there.
It genuinely is not like cleaned up. It is very, very
walked off the site.
It walked off the work site. And so every time we were like, you know what, we really need to get a little bit of leverage on this. Here comes Liza like a raccoon scurrying out of the bowels of this site, holding exactly what it was that we were after.
Well put. And it was at this time you think what we need is some oil, some lubricant to get in there.
We need some penetrating oil.
And off you went. And once again, you were gone a long time.
I was gone a long time.
Because we sent you to pillage Zach's tool van again. Poor Zach. Thank you if he's listening. I don't think he realizes how many times we get back to borrow things from his unattended truck.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. But I guess he didn't have the lubricant. Or he was smart enough to lock his doors.
Everything was locked up, yeah.
So you went off to the hotel, didn't tell us. So we're sitting out there in the hot sun and like, well, we should keep trying to do something. And Jason, bless his heart, trying to be helpful. And I will say, to his defense, he was trying to get that bolt unstuck. And you had put like a lot of leverage on it at one point and decided, I don't want to break it. He was using the tool. He wasn't using as much leverage, but he's just fidgeting and trying, and so it snaps off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we've moved on to another problem.
We've got a new problem.
But it was a problem and part of the solution at the same time, because now at least the problem was no longer attached to the bike and we could remove it and assess it.
That's one way to look at it, for sure.
So, at this point, we've got I call it the bracket that holds the masters or the caliper.
Yeah, the caliper carrier.
Caliper carrier, proper term, with a snapped off broken bolt in it. You did some quick research. Not easy to find for an 05 FJR 1300.
No. There's surprisingly little overlap with other years of FJRs, although it was about 11 year run that had those same parts.
And we're coming up with all sorts of plans. I think one thing you and I are both good at is let's assess, let's problem solve, let's come up, as you said, turn over every rock.
Mm-hmm.
You start reaching out to your community, the long distance riding community, and I start going in to find people here at the show that might be able to help. We're trying two different things. And I finally get hold of another mechanic, JC, and I show him the bracket, and he's like, I can do this. I can get that out. And the other thing that I think kind of made the sun come out on a cloudy day was that you figured out that it's the same pin on a TW200. Those things are like a dime a dozen. How many did you see just in the parking lot at the show?
There was probably 25 of them at any given time. At one point, there was 3 of them parked in immediate proximity to my bike. So
how weird it's the same part on a TW and a FJR 1300.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real basic component.
So now we've got a potential possible plan. And JC says, hey, I know a TW200 I can borrow the parts off of. And we think we've got a solution. He agrees to take the part home with him that night and try and work on it and come up with the part. So we're like, great. And I'm thinking, problem solved. Wendy, not so much. You're still going to line up something.
Mm-hmm.
And you started getting people from LD community reaching out to you.
Yeah.
You were getting offers and things.
Yeah.
You even had your hi, Mike, you're awesome. He was willing to take a part off of your bike and get on an airplane and fly across the country.
Yeah, because the other important part of this recipe is I'm supposed to be back in Rapid City, South Dakota, teaching a beginner rider training class in 2 days' time. So I have very, very small margin for error to get back there and be able to teach this class. So, of course, the East Coast wakes up first, and I start getting a lot of people that were very generously offering to pull parts off of their bike on the East Coast and overnight it to me. But by this point in time, by the time they were able to ship it, I wouldn't receive those parts until Tuesday, and it'd be too late for me to get back to teach.
So you were up late. This was late last night, still posting stuff on what forums? Is that what you still do? You people do?
Yeah, mailing list.
Mailing list. And I'm thinking, well, JC's coming through. This is in the bag. Well, sadly, JC forgot to take the part home.
Mm-hmm. Always have a plan B.
And I mean, nice dude, but it's like, oh yeah, sorry, forgot. But I gave it to Zach. Mm-hmm. We're back to Zach, the mobile mechanic. He played a big part in all this. And bless his heart, he was trying to heat it up and wrench it out, and it was not budging. So we're realizing this is not going to work. We're not going to be able to repair it. We need a new part.
We need a new plan.
And then you got a message.
Yeah, I got a few messages. We started as the West Coast started waking up. I started circling in kind of closer and closer to Portland. And finally I had several friends that were on the email list reached out to friends of theirs who are not on the email list and explained the situation. And I was able to connect with a FJR owner named Jim Heidel. And he's about 90 minutes south of here. He offered to pull the parts off of his bike and drive them up here. Let me use them to get home, and then I'll just mail him the parts back, and I can solve the problem properly when I'm back home.
I thought he's in Washington, isn't that?
No, that's another friend of mine, Justin Long, who was also willing to pick up parts. We had
confusing.
Had found the slide pin in a dealership in Olympia, Washington.
That's
where
right.
Justin lives, and he was willing to pick that up and bring it south to me, but it was only useful if we were able to get the busted pin out of the caliper carrier.
Motorcycle people are awesome.
They are incredible. And then I had another friend that was about 3.5 hours east of here that he was not personally available, but he said he'd have his bike situated where another mutual friend of ours was, welcome to make the hour drive into his house, pull the parts off of the bike, and then make the 3.5 hour drive out here. So I had a number of people with perfectly viable options that were ready to help me out.
And he came through. He showed up.
He did. Yeah.
There was a parts handoff, and you had that bike fixed in no time.
He walked up. He's like, man, traffic was a bear. I have got to pee. Where's the nearest bathroom? I said, I'm going to have this bike together by the time you get back from the porta potties. They're right over there. And sure enough, I was putting that final bolt tightening when he turned around, walked back. So it's about a 4-minute job when everything cooperates.
Wow. How did that relief feel?
Oh, good. It's going to be good to get on that bike and roll down the road and with the confidence of knowing And a number of people were saying, well, here's different creative ways you can bypass the rear brake just to get home. And it's like, this is a 1,350-mile
I was
route.
one of those people.
Yes, a lot of
block of wood in there and zip tie it. You'll be fine.
A lot of people suggested it, and in an absolute dire situation, I mean, I don't know, maybe, but that is a long ride to do without proper braking. So I'm really grateful that it didn't come down to that.
You're talking to somebody who once rode from Utah to Georgia with no lighting at all.
I believe it.
Yeah. Got it done. We're able to relax and enjoy the show a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Final say, what do you think? One show?
Yeah.
You want to come back again sometime?
That's a great community. It's, just really cool bikes, lots of fun, creative things. I'm bummed that I didn't get to see some more of those vendors. There were some really creative local vendors, which was cool.
But you did see something this afternoon.
What's that?
The Cossacks.
Oh, that was fun. Man, that was cool.
So, the Cossacks, the drill team, we talked to Rob earlier. Have you seen anything like that before?
Never in person. Of course, you see pictures. I mean, this is exactly...
From like the 1940s.
Yes, it was exactly like the pictures you see, the old black and white pictures of these, drill teams. So what we saw today just as easily could have been out of any one of those pictures. It was so cool.
And then this evening, we just came back. We're very tired, long day. But we got to do another cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell everyone what we did?
Yeah, so we, through friend of a friend kind of connections, were invited to a bit of a barbecue at a unassuming little shed in a residential neighborhood that holds an absolutely stunning collection of vintage bikes and vintage motorcycle memorabilia.
Oh, everything. There's everything in there. There was a VMAX with 128 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
How many bikes do you think was in there?
50?
50? In a not a large space, but they still managed to put couches and pinball machines and a bar and refrigerators and everything you need to make it just a comfortable place to hang out.
Yeah, it was cozy snug.
And we got fed.
Mm-hmm.
And then who showed up?
The Cossacks.
The Cossacks, which is so cool.
Yeah, some of them still in their floofy pants. What are those called?
Jodhpurs.
Jumpers?
Jodhpurs.
Jodhpurs. Yeah, there you go. we had a few floopy pants still going. But yeah, it was really cool to talk to the guys. There was, a lot of young brothers, and it's so cool to see that passion for keeping this history alive. It's a very cool, very unique representation of the sport. So there was a lot of family members and a lot of fun to talk to these guys.
What a great weekend. So many new friends, old friends, connections, community, the amount of people. You were saying what a great place for your bike to break down, because and that shout out to the one show, because we were leaving your bike there in the free parking section. Security was keeping an eye on it, and no one batted an eye at you completely dismantling it there. But then we could run in and find people, and the amount of people who came up to say, do you need help?
Right. That's incredible. Just making sure that I was okay, that I had all the tools I needed. Did I have the skills to do whatever needed doing? Had people besides Liza going off trying to find penetrating oil and, anything else that they could do to help.
There were plenty of raccoons.
There was lots of raccoons.
Great event. I'm glad you sorted that out. I also had some emergency stuff that I was dealing with. It was a bit stressful, but we both hung in there, sorted stuff out, made it work, still managed to have fun, see everything, do everything.
See a lot of old friends. I mean, a lot of people that we knew from pretty far flung around the U.S. People that we had seen in Maine for the WIMA event.
I know.
Lots of, the more you travel, the more you go to these kinds of events, the smaller the world becomes.
Yeah, last time I saw Jason was in Vancouver, and then I saw Kelly said hi. I last saw him in my garage. And then Smokey, who I was with us in Vancouver, who's from Idaho. People all over just saying hi, and it was so much fun.
It was great. And I think we got Jason convinced to go to VMD. I think we put the screws to him. I think we're going to make it happen.
Well, I think that wraps up this episode. I hope that y'all enjoyed the interviews and this story, the saga.
The saga.
Oh, gosh. And come check out the One Show. The location it's at, it's unsure if it's going to be here next year because it's in a derelict old building that's going to be developed eventually. But wherever Tor and Tori find, they're going to make it cool. I mean, without seeming derogatory, everything about this is cool. And everything is cool. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. No, it's that kind of effortlessly cool vibe that seems like very little work was put into this place. But then you walk around and you notice all of these details, all of this incredible thought that went into making this look effortlessly industrial.
Yeah, and again, you just get so many different types of bikes. I didn't even mention Harley Davidson was there with the new CR that we talked about a few episodes ago, the Cafe Racer, and I talked to the guy from Harley who designed it. He just couldn't go on the record with stuff. So there were like some very interesting. Roland Sands just did a new Royal Enfield that was really cool, and I talked to Royal Enfield about it, and they're going to take the parts that he designed and make them aftermarket parts that you could buy for your Royal Enfield. So there's, you got big brands and you got little guys on mopeds showing up. It's everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, come on, check out the One Show, and I think that's it. Go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com, find out where we're going to be next, because Wendy and I are going to be hitting the road in June. We're going to be heading all over. You can go to worldrecordride.com if you'd like to see where we're going. And T-shirts are shipping really soon. I think when I get home, they're going to be there. So let's do shout outs. Thanks, One Show, Tor and Tori. Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Jason. Thanks to the Litas, Zach. Who am I forgetting?
Thanks to my husband, Mike, and everybody in the LD community who, just are absolutely reliable. They will scramble when somebody needs help, and they will make it happen.
There you go. Well, thanks to everyone for listening. Really appreciate it. Go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com. And Wendy, where can they email us?
They can email us at Liza.
Motorcycles and Misfits.
Almost had it.
gmail.com.
I've even got so many emails, and it is so late, and I am so tired.
Time to get out of here. Thanks, everyone. This is Liza.
This is Wendy.
And we're out of here. Cool, cool.